Honor and respect. My name is Honggang Chris, and today's topic is going to be about serving your ancestors. The opening gesture that you just saw is something that we do in Haitian Voodoo. We greet the four corners, east, west, north, and south, which is an indication of making a center point for the spirits to begin, open the doors, to start the service. Then we proceed by greeting the shrine and pouring water for the spirits. Mind you, I don't pour water for the floor, I pour water for the spirit. That means that when I do this, I keep in mind thinking and focusing on my spirits. If not, you will only wet your floor. So let's go into serving the ancestors. Because your ancestors are the foundation. In Voodoo we say we are standing on the shoulders of our ancestors, because the foundation they built before us, good, bad, it's still part of you today. This can be of materialistic value, moral value, cultural value, skills, religion, and faith, to mention a few things that you may have inherited. An example is that you inherit a house, which the ones before you really had to sweat blood and tears over to build. It might even go generations further back, where your great-great-grandfather, who was a poor miner, had to put pennies aside and pay off a little piece of land that he built a cabin on, that which today the land have expanded and is seated with a big house. Maybe you didn't inherit anything materialistic at all, but throughout your line, making the same mistakes over and over again, someone finally broke that cycle by conquering the problem, and this way elevating your line, proceeding to fight for that which is good, and to pass those teachings of good morals to the children, and then to you. My point is that who your ancestors were, what they did, what they achieved, what they didn't achieve, their mistakes, the lessons they had to learn, their hard work, their mind, their heart, their actions. Even if you are your own person, you wouldn't be the one you are today if it wasn't for the ones before you. Your ancestors are in your blood, the same way as your DNA and cell memory, the same way it works. It's stored, reproduced, and passed on through generations. An important thing about serving is to give respect, to honor the ones before you. But it goes deeper than this as well. Because when we serve our ancestors, we don't just serve a memory or image of who they were. We acknowledge their existence back then and their existence still now, but present in another form that we call and we communicate with. This form of existence that we call spirit. An important thing about serving your spirits that a few people talk about or pay attention to that I think is important is the time frame after somebody passes. It's one thing to serve your great grandfather who you know passed away for years, and it's another thing to serve your grandmother or mother that recently passed. Um, in the spirit world, there is no concept of time, but you don't want to be evoking the dead. You want to call and communicate with the spirit. Now, what is the difference between a dead and a spirit? Well, it's a term used to define that a person that died still doesn't know they are dead, meaning that they're still attached to this world, to materia. And by calling somebody who has passed recently, you can risk to actually entrap their spirit to be able to move on. If the dead even hears you at all, but we don't want to entrap nobody. We don't want to entrap our spirits. And this is not the way spiritualists do it. And if you do so, it will cause harm to the spirit, and it will cause harm to you as well. So you gotta be careful about that. In Voodoo, we give the person at least 1 year and 1 day before we call the spirit. And this is a spiritual science, a spiritual understanding, and the same way as it works, concept of time is a human concept, and same way as we have 24 hours in 1 day. So we figured this out by timing day throughout to the night, from sunset to sunrise, from sunrise to sunset. And this is the same way we time, we put time on calling the spirits. Now, how to serve your ancestors. There are different ways of doing it, but I'm going to give you some basic examples. Based on your background, culture, and religion, first of all, gather information. Information about names, pictures, objects that belong to your ancestors that you can put on your shrine, symbols, religious and cultural connections, flags you can use, swords and shields as I put behind me. You personalize it according to what you know they liked in life. Now, the way I put it up today was actually for this video to show you a simple example. Me personally, I usually put my ancestors with my other spirits. But I think actually I'm going to keep this shrine and expand it and put some more things there and work with it. So let's get back to what did I talk about? Just lost track. Well, you don't need to overflow your shrine with objects and materialistic things that you don't need to access it either. And if you don't know anything about your ancestors, maybe you were adopted even, you can make it as basic as you want. Anything you know, use it. If it's your culture, you can also sense your way through if you have intuition and connection. If you feel you have that, and you can separate your own thoughts and your own ego versus the spiritual realm. The most basic altar is simply a white cloth. You put it on a table. You clean the table thoroughly. You can put Florida water on it to make it smell nice. A white candle and a bowl or a glass of water, because the spirits travel through water. You light the candle and then you sit down and you talk to your ancestors the same way as you would talk to your family or friends or any other person, as they would be there with you. Even if you don't feel anything, it's a start. The connection will start grow stronger and stronger as you do it more often. So you light the candle, and I'm going to give you an example. You may say something like, in the name of my ancestors, you who are in my blood, my roots, of where I come from, who watch over me, who guide me, who helps me. I call you to acknowledge your existence, to pay honor and respect, and to let you know that I'm ready to serve you. May we connect. Speak to me. Come into my dreams. Let me know you more. Let me hear you. Let me sense you. Let me see you. Understand you. So I can serve you better. Now this is how I do it. You don't have to go by my words. You can, but the best way is to say something that comes from your heart, personally. In Voodoo, we serve our ancestors on Monday, the beginning of the week. But you can talk to them whenever you feel like it. When you enjoy, when you're in sorrow, if you're in pain, if you're in a good mood, if you're in a bad mood. The most important thing is that remember to at least attain and maintain the contact at least once a week, so that every time you light that candle, the connection gets stronger and you feel it grows with you. And eventually they will respond. In the beginning you might, might not feel anything, might even not understand how it is to tune in, but they will respond. So I recommend to have a notebook by your bed, and also, to note down your dreams and see the messages that they might have for you. They might communicate with you, their character. You might see different colors or different names. They might show you what they want, what they miss out, guide you how to serve them. And also pay attention in your life after doing so, because you will see signs, and they will give you signs, and they will direct you. And then after a few times, when you feel a little bit more connected, when you understand that connection, then you can start to give offerings. It can be simple, like coffee, drinks like alcohol, vodka, rum, And remember, alcohol is a fluid as well as water, and the spirits travel through water. So this is more hot water, more fire water. And have you ever considered why alcohol is called spiritus or spirit? Think about that. You can serve them food from your culture, share food once in a while from your dinner. This is called service. That's when you start to involve them in your life physically, and you invite them to take part of this world, but you don't entrap them. They are free to come and go as they please, and that you will see your life will start to improve in many different ways as you work with them. So this is a short video about how to serve your ancestors, your spirits, a beginner's guide, and maybe also inspiration for people who already serve their spirits, their ancestors. And so I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, you can click like. And I would also love to hear comments from people. I always respond. And my next video will be about spiritual work, going more in depth of what spiritual work is about, explain about the services that I offer, the work that I do, and also what you can do yourself. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to contact me. You can contact me here on YouTube or on Facebook, message me through my website, www.vodou.no. And again, thank you for tuning in, and subscribe if you want to do that, to follow my channel. Blessings to you all.